thinking of, some dirty hippie with long facial hair that wears tie-dye t-shirts and Birkenstocks. Perhaps they're at Folk Fest, elbowing Mika and her family out of the way from the front of the stage. But the purpose of my speech today is to persuade you that, one, we're not all like that, and two, I'd really like you to consider environmental vegetarianism. Now, environmental vegetarianism is defined as cutting back or eliminating meat from your diet as an environmentally sustainable choice. I really feel like environmental vegetarianism is a sustainable solution for the problems that our Earth is experiencing. It really frustrates me to see the planet being regarded in such a nonchalant way by both my peers and even all the way up to our world leaders. Constantly we're hearing about the threat of the loss of non-renewable resources like fossil fuels, as well as the threat of loss of things like water and forests, rainforests. I'd just like to say I don't intend to be preachy about this subject. I hope to offer you some insight on environmental vegetarianism as an environmentally sustainable diet. So one of the ways that environmental vegetarianism helps the environment is that it reduces deforestation. So what this means is that, so basically I'll give you an example first. One statistic that I found online was that in order to make one hamburger, you have to cut down 550 square feet of forest. That's a hell of a lot of forest. And when we think about it, in order to feed the cattle that we're going to be eating, we're going through what's called the two-mouth rule. So you have a cattle that has to eat the grass, and then the cow gets processed for a human to eat. Now, if a human just directly uses this land for something like growing a crop or something different, then it's obviously a much more environmentally sustainable choice because you are eliminating that two-mouth rule. The second way that environmental vegetarianism helps the environment is that it reduces CO2 and methane emissions. This happens in two ways. The first way is that I'm sure you're all aware that cattle emit absolutely ridiculous amounts of methane gas, just standing around, chewing cud. But there's also the issue of processing the meat. I mean, we have to put fuel in trucks to transport a cattle to a slaughterhouse, and then we have to fuel the machines within a slaughterhouse to process the cattle, and then we have to put gas in trucks to take this slaughtered meat back to a butcher, where a butcher will, again, use machines to cut up the cow and put it back in a truck to be sent to a grocery store. Now that can be eliminated, you can eliminate a whole lot of driving and processing by just taking some corn and putting it in a grocery store. The most important thing that environmental vegetarianism helps with environmentally is perhaps the elimination of wasting water. Now, I'm just going to give you a bit of a visual. So to grow 1 pound of corn, you use 25 gallons of water. To grow 1 pound of soy, you use 250 gallons of water. To grow 1 pound of beef, you use 2,500 gallons of water. 1 pound of beef! That is, if you go to the grocery store, you see the 1 pound of beef. In order for a person to eat one hamburger, you can take a shower for 2.5 weeks. Now, I don't know if any of you share this with me, but I just think that it's logical that it just doesn't make sense. It just blows my mind. When I was reading this online, I was like blown away. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that statistic. So I really encourage you to just consider the food for thought I've given you today, and really take it to heart, just because it's a really good way to take initiative, especially when you're so young. As a course of action, I suggest even just eliminating one meat-based entree from your diet a week. You know, instead of eating that hamburger, maybe grab a portobello mushroom and throw that on the grill, or you know, substituting one steak for a bowl of pasta or a salad or something like that. It's really healthy for you, and it's really healthy for the planet. It allows you to take initiative, tell others, and make an environmentally sustainable choice. Thank you.